After nearly 8 decades hidden beneath layers of secrecy, the SS's long-forgotten tunnel has finally been opened. Inside lies a chilling glimpse into the dark world of Nazi Germany, a place shrouded in mystery and built on fear, forced labor, and hidden ambitions. What investigators found within the walls is unlike anything history books have revealed, and it will shock you. The Enigma of Project Reese. After nearly 80 years of secrecy, Project Reese, the massive Nazi underground complex hidden in the Owl Mountains of southwestern Poland, has finally revealed its chilling presence to the world. Even after decades, the tunnels, chambers, and bunkers of this labyrinth continue to spark fascination and fear, offering a glimpse into the extreme ambitions and dark obsessions of the Third Reich. Construction of Project Reese began in the early 1940s under the direction of the Nazis, using forced labor primarily from the Gross-Rosen concentration camp. Thousands of prisoners were brought to these remote mountains, tasked with digging through solid rock in harsh conditions. They worked tirelessly, often with little rest, poor nutrition, and brutal oversight. The cost of this effort was staggering, with more than 5,000 laborers dying from exhaustion, malnutrition, accidents, and mistreatment. Their lives and suffering remain an invisible yet omnipresent part of the tunnel's history. The sheer scale of Project Reese is staggering. The complex consists of multiple underground sites connected through a network of tunnels, galleries, and bunkers. Osovka, one of the largest and most well-known of these sites, still preserves remnants of the construction, including massive halls, carved corridors, and unfinished chambers. Visitors who step inside are struck by the eerie silence, the cold stone walls, and the sense of weighty secrecy that seems to linger decades after the Nazis abandoned their work. Despite the passage of time, the purpose of Project Reese remains unclear. Historians have debated its function for years. Some argue that it was intended to serve as Hitler's future headquarters, a secure fortress where he could continue commanding the Reich in the event of Allied advances. Others believe it was meant to be a weapons production facility, perhaps for advanced or secret weapons that could have altered the course of the war. Certain sections of the tunnels contain unusual features such as massive ventilation systems, large chambers, and reinforced walls, all of which hint at a purpose beyond simple storage or shelter. Yet no definitive evidence has emerged to confirm these theories, keeping the mystery alive. Adding to the enigma, many of the tunnels remain unexplored or partially inaccessible. Some passages are blocked by rubble or have collapsed over time, while others are too dangerous to enter. Archaeologists and historians continue to study the site, hoping that future exploration may uncover documents, tools, or artifacts that could explain why the Nazis invested so much labor and resources into this hidden world. Walking through Osovka or any of the other Reese sites, one cannot ignore the human cost and the shadow of history that hangs in every corner. The walls whisper stories of suffering, ambition, and secrecy. It is a place where past horrors collide with present curiosity and where the unanswered questions about Nazi intentions leave visitors both awed and unsettled. Project Reese stands as one of the most mysterious and haunting monuments of World War II. It is a chilling reminder of the extremes of human ambition, the brutality of the regime, and the dark secrets that the earth can hide. The tunnels may never fully reveal their purpose, but every corridor explored brings us closer to understanding the depths of the Third Reich's obsession with secrecy, power, and control. The hidden bunkers beneath Berchtesgaden. After exploring the vast and mysterious tunnels of Project Reese, the journey into the underground world of the Nazis took historians to the Bavarian Alps, to the quiet town of Berchtesgaden. On the surface, Berchtesgaden seems like a picturesque alpine village. Domed church steeples rise above terracotta-tiled houses, wildflowers bloom along cobbled streets, and the river at the town's center flows with clear water from the Lake of Königssee. For centuries, it has been a beloved holiday destination, its natural beauty and peaceful charm hiding one of the darkest secrets of the Third Reich. In the mid-1920s, a young Adolf Hitler visited Berchtesgaden and stayed in a modest rental cabin overlooking the town. It was here that he wrote the second half of Mein Kampf. By the time he became chancellor in 1933, his royalties had made him extremely wealthy, far surpassing the average income of the time. With his fortune, Hitler built a mansion in the mountain retreat of Obersalzberg, which became known as the Berghof. Completed in 1935, the Berghof was as imposing as it was luxurious, featuring a massive 25-foot picture window overlooking the Austrian Alps. Hitler believed that the mountains held historical significance, and he drew symbolic connections between his rule and the legacy of Charlemagne, the ancient unifier of Western Europe. Beneath this idyllic retreat, a vast underground network of tunnels and bunkers was constructed. Extending over 4 miles, these subterranean chambers connected the Berghof to other facilities, including the Platterhof Hotel, which served as a headquarters for Hitler's inner circle. The tunnels housed apartments and private rooms for top Nazi officials, creating a hidden world designed for secrecy, safety, and strategic planning. These bunkers were built to withstand aerial bombardment and were intended to be the last refuge of the Third Reich as the war turned against Germany. In April of 1945, the Royal Air Force carpet-bombed the area, and the U.S. Army later occupied the site, sealing parts of the tunnels and ordering sections destroyed. Despite these efforts, not all of the underground network was obliterated. Today, visitors can explore the preserved sections, stepping into corridors and rooms that once held secret meetings and guarded the lives of the Nazi elite. Walking through these spaces, it is impossible not to feel the tension, paranoia, and obsession with control that define the regime. Above ground, Hitler continued to pursue his Alpine dreams. For his 50th birthday, the Kelstein House, better known as the Eagle's Nest, was completed high above the Berghof. Perched 6,000 feet above the valley, it was both a luxurious retreat and a powerful symbol of Nazi ambition and dominance. From here, Hitler entertained dignitaries, planned invasions, and made decisions that would change the course of history. Deep within these tunnels lies another secret bunker, long sealed and untouched. Let's tell you, hat artifacts, documents, and personal items of the Nazi elite might still be hidden there, waiting to be discovered. The discovery of the Führerbunker. The underground world of the Nazis continues to reveal chilling secrets. In 2025, historians and archaeologists uncovered a previously unknown bunker beneath the Reich Chancellery Gardens in Berlin. Known as the Führerbunker, this hidden fortress had been sealed for nearly 80 years, preserving the remnants of a regime that once sought to dominate the world. Its discovery has stunned researchers, offering an intimate glimpse into the private lives and secret plans of Hitler's inner circle during the final days of the Third Reich. The Führerbunker was unlike any other Nazi underground structure. Its walls were thick and reinforced, designed to withstand bombing raids and the chaos of a collapsing city. The entrance had been carefully concealed, hidden beneath the ornate gardens of the Chancellery, so that no one outside the elite could ever suspect what lay below. Inside, the bunker consisted of multiple chambers, some for storage of secret documents, others for meetings of the highest-ranking Nazi officials. Each room was meticulously arranged, reflecting the calculated paranoia of those who built and used it. Among the discoveries were personal effects including furniture, clothing, and utensils that had remained untouched for decades. The preservation of these items created an eerie feeling, as though the people who used them might return at any moment. More horrifying were the documents and ledgers that were found. They contained records of troop movements, last-minute war strategies, and communications detailing the regime's plans even as it was collapsing under the pressure of the Allied advance. Some records also revealed cruel and calculated actions against prisoners, civilians, and those considered enemies of the state, underscoring the brutality of the Nazi leadership until the very end. The bunker also contained hidden compartments where sensitive materials were stored. Historians believe these rooms were used to safeguard evidence of war crimes and experimental projects. The thought that such atrocities were meticulously documented and hidden away adds a dark layer to the discovery. Even more chilling were structural features like reinforced chambers designed to protect key figures during bombings and escape routes meant to allow high-ranking officials to flee unnoticed. The careful planning shows a regime obsessed with survival, secrecy, and control, even when defeat was inevitable. But what horrors were forced laborers made to endure to build these secret tunnels and bunkers? And how did their suffering shape the hidden world of the Nazis? Stay with us to know. The role of forced labor in tunnel construction. The hidden tunnels and bunkers of the Third Reich are not just monuments to Nazi ambition and secrecy. They are also silent graves, bearing witness to the suffering of thousands of forced laborers who were exploited to bring these projects to life. From Project Reese in the Owl Mountains to the subterranean bunkers beneath Berchtesgaden, the construction of these underground complexes depended entirely on human toil under the harshest and most inhumane conditions imaginable. Most of the laborers came from concentration camps such as Gross Rosen and were transported to remote construction sites under armed guard. They were made to work long hours, often from sunrise until well past dark, in cold, damp, and poorly ventilated tunnels. The air was thick with dust, and accidents were frequent. Collapses of poorly supported tunnels, explosions from improper handling of explosives, and flooding claimed countless lives. It is estimated that more than 5,000 laborers perished at Project Reese alone, with deaths recorded from exhaustion, malnutrition, disease, and sheer brutality. Many others were executed for failing to meet impossible quotas or for attempting to escape. Nutrition was almost non-existent. Prisoners were given meager rations, often just a thin soup or a small piece of bread, insufficient to sustain the physical labor demanded of them. Their bodies weakened rapidly, making them more vulnerable to accidents and illness. Medical care was minimal or entirely absent, and any who fell behind were subjected to beatings or killed on the spot. Some were forced to work in freezing, water-filled tunnels, their clothes soaked and their bodies shivering, with the guards indifferent to their suffering. In addition to the physical strain, the psychological torment was relentless. Laborers were under constant threat from the SS overseers. Witnessing the death of fellow workers became routine, as cave-ins and explosions frequently claimed multiple lives at once. Survivors often recounted the constant fear, the screams of the injured, and the cold indifference of their captors. Many who survived the tunnels were left scarred, both physically and mentally, for the rest of their lives. Despite the horror, the laborers' work was integral to the completion of the Nazi underground projects. Without their coerced labor, tunnels like Project Reese or the Berchtesgaden bunkers would have remained unfinished, and the secrets of the Nazi elite might never have been hidden beneath layers of rock and reinforced concrete. Yet, the cost of these feats of engineering was staggering, and the underground complexes stand as grim monuments not only to Nazi ambition but also to human suffering on an unimaginable scale. With so many mysteries surrounding these underground complexes, you would be surprised to know, what purpose did the Nazis truly intend for their tunnels, and what secrets might still be hidden in their shadowy depths? Theories and speculations surrounding the tunnels. Even decades after the fall of the Third Reich, the underground tunnels and bunkers built by the Nazis continue to fascinate and terrify. Historians, archaeologists, and treasure hunters alike have tried to uncover the purpose behind these sprawling networks of secret chambers, yet many questions remain unanswered. The tunnels of Project Reese, the Berchtesgaden bunkers, and other hidden complexes are not only feats of engineering, but also enigmas wrapped in secrecy. And the more we learn, the more questions seem to arise. Some experts believe these tunnels were intended as command centers, designed to allow Hitler and his closest advisors to operate safely, even as Allied bombs rained down on Germany. Hidden deep underground, these bunkers provided both protection and privacy, allowing strategic decisions to be made away from prying eyes. The presence of reinforced walls, ventilation systems, and intricate passageways supports this idea. Certain sections even contained rooms that appear to have been designed for high-ranking officials, complete with furniture, offices, and meeting spaces. The care and precision with which these spaces were built suggests that secrecy and security were paramount. Other theories point to secret weapons development. In some tunnels, unusual chambers, massive ventilation systems, and unexplained shafts hint that the Nazis may have intended to manufacture or store advanced weaponry. There are even speculations that some areas were used for experiments that were never fully documented. The unfinished nature of some tunnels adds to the mystery. Were these projects abandoned because of the advancing Allied forces, or did they serve a more sinister purpose that we have yet to fully uncover? Elevator shafts, hydraulic systems, and other peculiar structures found in these complexes further fuel speculation. Some believe they were meant to transport materials and machinery deep underground without detection. Others argue that the complexity of these systems indicates plans for something far more ambitious than simple storage or shelter. The lack of concrete evidence allows for imagination to fill the gaps, creating a web of possibilities that ranges from command centers to secret laboratories to vaults holding unimaginable treasures. The tunnels also contain hidden chambers and blocked passages that have yet to be explored. Over the years, rumors of these hidden spaces have grown into legends, and one of the most enduring of these is the story of a Nazi gold train. The legend of the Nazi gold train. According to folklore, as the Allied forces advanced into Poland and Germany, the Nazis attempted to protect their most valuable assets from capture. A train loaded with gold, precious artifacts, currency, and possibly even secret documents was said to have been hidden deep within the tunnels of Project Reese or other underground networks. Its existence has never been proven, yet the idea of a vast concealed treasure has fueled fascination and obsession for generations. The gold train is more than just a story of wealth. It symbolizes the desperation and cunning of the Nazi regime during its final days. As defeat loomed, the leaders sought to secure what they could, fleeing the cities and moving treasures underground. The tunnels themselves, constructed with forced labor under brutal conditions, were perfect hiding places. Prisoners who built the tunnels were often unaware of the treasures being moved through their labor. They endured unimaginable suffering, forced to work long hours in freezing, damp conditions. Many died from exhaustion, accidents, disease, and starvation. Their pain and deaths were the hidden foundation upon which the Nazis planned to protect their wealth. Numerous searches for the gold train have taken place over the decades. Locals have told stories of strange sounds in the tunnels, sudden collapses in certain sections, and the faint glimmer of metal seen by daring explorers. Each report has ignited excitement, though none have led to definitive evidence. Some researchers believe the train may have been moved or destroyed during the chaos at the end of the war. Others speculate it may remain trapped in a blocked-off section of the tunnels, buried under tons of rock and debris, waiting to be discovered. The mystery endures because the tunnels themselves are so complex. Collapsed sections, hidden chambers, and flooded passages make exploration extremely dangerous. Many who have attempted to search for the train have risked their lives, and some have never returned. The tunnels that once hid treasures and atrocities are now being preserved as historical monuments. The tunnels as historical monuments. Today, the underground tunnels and bunkers built by the Nazis stand as chilling historical monuments, preserved to remind the world of a dark chapter in human history. Sites like Project Reese in Poland and the Berchtesgaden bunkers in Germany are open to the public, offering guided tours that allow visitors to walk through the cold stone corridors and hidden chambers where history unfolded. These tunnels were once the secretive heart of the Nazi regime, but now they serve as spaces for reflection, education, and remembrance. Walking through these tunnels, it is impossible to ignore the human suffering embedded within their walls. The construction of these complexes relied entirely on forced labor from concentration camp prisoners. Thousands of men and women were brought to these sites, compelled to carve out tunnels through solid rock under brutal conditions. Many were forced to work in freezing, water-filled passages, their bodies exposed to disease, exhaustion, and malnutrition. Accidents were frequent, and cave-ins or mismanaged explosives claimed countless lives. Some laborers were buried alive, while others were executed for failing to meet impossible quotas. Every tunnel, every chamber is a testament to the lives lost and the pain endured by those who had no choice but to work for the regime's ambitions. The preservation of these sites ensures that these atrocities are not forgotten. visitors can see the stark living conditions, the remnants of machinery, and the unfinished tunnels that bear witness to the horrors of forced labor. Museums and exhibits within some of the complexes display artifacts recovered from the sites, including tools, personal belongings of laborers, and documents left behind by the Nazi leadership. These items provide insight into the construction purpose and ambitions of the regime, while also highlighting the suffering of those who were exploited to achieve them. Beyond the physical horrors, the tunnels reveal the mindset of the Nazi elite. Hidden command centers, reinforced chambers, and secret passages demonstrate a regime obsessed with secrecy, power, and survival. In some tunnels, intricate ventilation systems, elevator shafts, and storage rooms hint at plans for secret weapons development or concealed treasures. Historians continue to debate the intended purposes of these complexes, but one fact remains clear. The scale of construction and the human cost involved reflect the extreme lengths to which the Nazis went to protect their ambitions. These preserved tunnels serve as more than historical curiosities. They are a reminder of the consequences of unchecked power, cruelty, and obsession. They educate visitors about the suffering endured by forced laborers and the calculated strategies of a regime that caused unimaginable destruction. The tunnels allow us to confront the past in a tangible way, walking through the spaces where terror was both planned and enforced. As historians continue to study these underground complexes, new revelations are likely to emerge, shedding further light on the secrets of the Third Reich. The preserved tunnels challenge us to remember the atrocities, honor the victims, and learn from history to prevent such horrors from repeating. What do you think about these hidden Nazi tunnels and the secrets they might still hold? Share your thoughts in the comments below.